What's going on is the Wolf, and we are back with another episode of the Wolf Has Spoken podcast, America's fastest growing podcast, Universe's fastest growing podcast. And I'm extremely excited today for multiple reasons. For one, is the start of year two, essentially.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Start of year two, and I'm also super duper excited because I found myself joined by my guy, the one and only Right on Q Live, who just signed his 20-day contract going into year two. So from 10 to 20, making progress, 1%.
1%.
You know what I mean?
That's all I can ask for.
Always, man. Big shout out to her fantasy box. Make sure y'all shop with our sponsors, man. As y'all can see, we got the products laid out right there behind y'all. So take a good look at it. I'm not sure how close we can get on a close up, but regardless, we'll end up unpacking that. But for the most part, man, big shout out to the sponsor, her fantasy box. And I'm excited because we on yet another set.
Absolutely.
But this time it's celebrate. It's celebratory.
This set different. We feeling different.
Yeah. It's something about that second contract where everybody just feel like they got more money at that point. Like you go back to season 1, episode 1, you can tell niggas in the trenches.
One of my favorite movies, Bad Boys. You look at Bad Boys 1, it's like they in Miami still. But Bad Boys 2, they
them niggas in Brickell.
They look different.
Them niggas really in South Beach. They on the upper side of South Beach. They not just touristing. But yeah, man. So I'm excited, man. It feel good. You know what I'm saying? It's an honor, it's a pleasure. You know, we talked about getting to this moment, and we here for multiple reasons. We just celebrated our 1-year anniversary with a live show.
Shout out to Eric.
And our first live show sold out. Every chair filled, man. Big shout out to everybody. And am I here now? Am I here? All right, big shout out to everybody. And yeah, man, thank y'all for coming out. Another thing, we here celebrating your motherfucking bachelor party.
Yes.
So full circle moment, and I'm gonna pass it off to you. A year ago, episodes wise, we sat on the couch and I said, "Can I speak at the wedding?"
Right.
All right, cool. We ain't having a wedding. I'm speaking at the reception. That's another declaration that I'm making. Okay. But I planned the bachelor party, and now we here in Miami celebrating your bachelor party, and yeah, this is just an extension of that. So I did what I said. I got a better reward. I wanted to speak. I'm the organizer, so I'm good.
And you did it with much ease and grace, and that boy good. Like, you know, like,
and with 3 weeks, no, 2 weeks.
Yes, and we didn't have hours conversation about other shit, pod shit, business shit, and never once you said, "Yo, by the way, Q," like nigga was on some truly AI robotic shit of like, this part don't exist with you. Like, don't know nothing. I'm gonna talk to your friends about it. Set up the group chat, but then get the fuck out the group chat. Like, it was militant with this shit they're planning. Like,
your parents held it down because they actually didn't spill no water about what was planned, and it was my friends that was dropping the ball as soon as we got here. Like, soon as we landed, yo, so what time we doing this? What time? Nigga, he don't know what we doing. I told this nigga that he's
so Q. You know what we doing this for?
Yeah, like Q. So what time we actually going to the club, and what time we? Nigga, he don't know nothing. I told this nigga to just sit back, relax, and enjoy preparing for the wedding and the honeymoon, well, the marriage and the honeymoon, while we take care of the bachelor party. So, you know, I was real adamant about making sure that this was, you know, and I'm glad you're enjoying yourself.
Absolutely. And, you know, I feel like, and I told you in the beginning, like, you know, I'm a low maintenance type of guy. So all I really wanted was just, let's be about some water. Yeah. Let's have some good energy and vibes. Yeah. And let's, you know, just
we could have did this shit down Delaware Ave. Like, he would have been perfectly fine. Like,
I was
right? Camden waterfront. Like,
not any water. Like,
he said water and vibes.
But
Pendleton Beach.
Yeah. But no, I appreciate you. Definitely having a good time. And, you know, we're going to let, after this, handle the business. Yeah. And then, you know, we're going to
get right back to it. So, yeah, man, y'all getting a special treat because we filming in Miami. But let's get to the conversation. We say sometimes we get to our flower giving.
For sure.
Yeah, let's get straight to the conversation.
And so with that being said, I feel like, you know, we spoke about before. I feel like a lot of people might need to hear as well. The idea of like balancing celebration with motivation.
100%.
I feel like, you know, especially men, because, you know, we got a lot of shit going on. Men carry a lot, whatever. I'm not sure if man or woman, if people really give their time to just say, no, like live in that moment, embrace that moment, celebrate that moment. But at the same time, some people may take it too far and then forget about the work and kind of say this the end all be all. The goal can still be bigger than what that moment is, but it don't mean you can't celebrate that and embrace it. Like the balance.
The milestone celebrations, because at the end of the day, man, we operate off of a reward system as humans. And the biggest and most important reward system, even more than the reward system that the world can validate, is the reward system within self, right? Because we the ones that got to find a motivation in self to get up on days that we don't feel like it, to do shit that we don't always feel like doing, to accomplish the thing that we actually want to do. So the micro celebrations in the middle, right? That's how you overcome the middle, because most people you got to think in the beginning, you got all the support in the world. Oh shit, my man about to open up a building, about to start a pod. I'm tapped in. I'm going to watch every episode. Then 4 episodes in, that support go down, niggas go back to their regular life, and you're like, damn. And then it's like, when you accomplish something great, then that's when everybody come back. I knew you was gonna do it. That's my boy. He had it all the time. But from that point until the end all be all, you got to still be motivated. So celebrating yourself in those times is how you kind of get yourself that jolt of motivation. Like think about when we used to play Cruising the World, and like checkpoint after you driving, but for some point you hit a checkpoint, it give you the extra acceleration, and then the time going down, you hit the checkpoint, it give you a little bit more time. That's what motivation does on a day-to-day and a week-to-week and a month-to-month, us celebrating these little milestones. And I encourage people out there to do the same thing, but not get too strung up on it, feeling like you partying every day, because now you forgetting and losing sight of what the actual goal is. The goal is not to celebrate, the goal is to win, but we celebrate the small wins that lead to the big wins, because it keep us motivated to keep going.
Sure. Bar. Another thing I feel in regards to like celebrating the wins and being in real time, you said something to me I thought was like poignant, where you was talking about like a year ago, certain rooms you were in, you knew you belonged in there, but you understood you had work to do and growth to,
I had to earn some respect. Yeah, at least some type of
yeah. And now a year later, you're in those same rooms, and you know it's a difference. You feel the difference.
100%.
And before I let you talk more about that, I have like a similar, entrepreneurial businessman type shit versus 9 to 5 type climbing that ladder. I have a different perspective of that, or a similar perspective, where it's like I had left when I kind of like shifted my life and kind of got to where I'm at now, whatever. It was 4 years ago, roughly. I was working at a job, bullshit level of a job, whatever. And that's when I kind of was like, something got to give. I got to figure some shit out, transform shit, whatever. And I told myself, like, I'm going to leave here, come back, making way more, kind of running shit, whatever.
Yeah.
In real time, it was kind of like, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I remember I was staying, because the company I left, it was a great company. It just, I was at the bullshit level.
Yeah.
So, and one thing I will say, if you in that
it's different when you in coach versus when you in first class.
And one thing I always tell people about, like, that 9 to 5 shit, like, it always pays more. Instead of trying to negotiate where you at, it pays more to leave and come back for it, because they gonna pay what you weigh when you show your value somewhere else.
That's a fact.
So when I went through, I had to go through and left and came back, whatever. And then when I recently got back to that company, I kind of forgot about that. It was kind of like locked in my subconscious until I had to go get my badge. When I went and got my badge, you used to work here, and I was like, and I saw my old badge and my old.
So you had an old job again?
Huh?
The job you had now is an old job?
Yeah, I used to work there before. Years ago. Like
full circle.
Right before I started this whole journey.
Yeah.
And when I got that badge, it hit me where I was like, I remember 4 years ago being here thinking like, I'm gonna come back here and make way more fucking money.
This parking spot gonna be mine. It's gonna say Q Day on this jump.
And then I was walking through, it was like, I remember being in here, and it was different shit 4 years ago.
Nigga had on a golf shirt before, now he got a towel on. Nigga, he done moved on up in the world.
Yeah, seeing people I used to work with is like, I told y'all.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna do. And not even on no shit talking away. It's just like they thought I was crazy. Yeah. I said, no, I'm about to do this XYZ. It's like, what the fuck are you even talking about?
See the vision.
Yeah, so I can relate to that, where it's like when you in the same room as you was at previously, and now you walk in every room different.
And I think it's a self more than it's about the acknowledgement of others. It's a self realization. Sure. Like, dang, like this is like, how else do you gauge your progress if you don't look in the mirror to see your results, right? So it's like when you hit the gym, you just working. You put your head down, you actually putting the work in. You don't really notice that you gain weight, lost weight, and put on muscle. But then when you see somebody you ain't seen in 6 months, they're like, damn, dog, you strong as shit. Yeah. You like, oh yeah, that's what you did. You're like, oh shit. So now when you go back, you be like, damn, let me go look at a picture from last year. Full circle. Damn, I really did bulk up. I really did tone down. I really did tone up. So it's like that type of realization, it happens when you be put in that familiar situation of something that where you once was, I won't even say inadequate, but just not all right. You haven't got there yet, right? And it's like now you have finally reached a point where it's noticeable and it's recognizable. But another thing to that is don't get comfortable. Like most people, like they get to a point where it's like, oh, they think that like the journey is the journey for a reason. It's really the destination is really just the next goal, right? It's not like a place where you get there and like, all right, I'm here, it's over. It's like, no, like I'm still on my journey and my journey is never ending. And as I reach these milestone moments, I still have to create another milestone so I can continue to transcend and go upward versus just getting to a point where I'm, all right, yeah, I'm here now. I'm not saying don't coast, but it just means that just don't get comfortable. Don't think that you arrived, because there's really no arrival. It's just pit stops, and then you just get that motivation to keep going. So, that was just a realization for me. Like, all right, cool. Like, it feel good to be here, but it's still more to do. Cause like, it's what is here for here is like, all right, cool. I know for a fact that a year ago I aspired to be where I am today, but now I'm aspiring to be at another spot. So I'm still in that aspiring phase. The aspiring phase don't go away. You know what I mean? You don't want it to. You always want to be aspiring, but that don't mean get to a point where you just like overly indulged in the fact that, oh, I gotta do it. Just knowing like, all right, I'm doing it, but I gotta keep doing it. I'm doing it, but I gotta get. You want to keep that gym body, you gotta keep going. You get the body, you don't say, all right, now I can just go back to eating Twinkies and motherfucking
Twinkies is crazy.
I take it back on them. Go back to eating motherfucking Little Debbie cakes and X, Y, and Z. It's like, no, like I want to make sure that I continue these habits that I form, because ultimately success is a principle based on habits.
And you've said something before that I feel is related to that, where he's like, whether you keep a journal or whether it's progress pics, whatever, when you can look back like, damn, no, like a year ago where I'm at now, I wanted to be here.
100%.
And sometimes I can get lost in translation.
Every time, because you live in day to day. So how many times we always talk about people not understanding that growth is incremental, it's not quantum. So another thing, I was just looking at my journal the other day. The day I missed my plane, which we can unpack at some point in the episode. I missed my plane, and I was just sitting there trying to like get myself together. And someone was like, I was going to journal, but like in my journal, I got like a one of them bookmarks that you can kind of hold the page. So I opened it up to a page, and now I'm just surfing through, and I'm reading the shit that I was writing 4 and 5 years ago, and I'm like, yo, I really became the things I said. Like I'm talking about down to like the habits I said I want to develop. I want to get better here. Look, man, I'm not good with this. I need to improve. I'm like, oh shit, I'm actually that nigga that I wrote about becoming.
Right.
And this is just from a standpoint of actually doing the fucking work of getting 1% better. So it was just like, that was another moment for me where it was like, damn, like I talked about wanting to improve my communication. I talked about wanting to be disciplined in these areas. I talked about wanting to be consistent. I wrote this shit down. Like literally, I was going to bring my journal to the fucking show and read a page of how I was talking about how I want to handle conflict in my relationship prior to me getting in 2 other relationships that I actually been in that time frame. And I'm like, yo, I actually did all of these things that I said I wanted to do. So it just let me know, like being able to write something down and then actually see it materialize through the work. That shit it felt good, because I'm like, damn, like now what else can I do? And I'm looking forward to looking back a year from now. Like I wrote this last year saying I wanted to do X, Y, and Z, and now look. So you know that shit is dope.
Yeah, and I can relate to that as well, because again, like when I all that hit me when I got that badge, I'm like, no, I kind of forgot I kind of set that declaration to the universe, like I'm gonna come back and kind of do that. So it's nothing like reflecting on those accomplishments and 100%. Realizing, like, you know,
no, in real time.
And when you said the 4 years ago, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I kind of track things in quarters. For some reason, like a couple of years ago, I started thinking, like, you know, like maybe I look at
by years or months.
Years.
Okay,
so like every 4 years, I feel like, you know, in 4 years, 4 years ago, what did you want to be in 4 years ago? Where you want to be 4 years from now? Yeah, maybe because, you know, financial markets, high school, college, basketball quarters, whatever. 40 seems like a solid number, whatever. It's like, and you know, a lot of people don't believe me when I said about Ryan Q Live. I said Ryan Q Live wasn't a certain place. I said this year 1. If it wasn't a certain place by the 4th year, I was going to stop.
So, how long did you do it for?
4 years.
Oh, all right. I felt like, I don't know, for some reason, I thought you did that shit for 10 years, or maybe it was just drawn out because he was dropping an episode every day. You had too much time on your hands.
That's fair. But no, it was 4 years. I said, no, it's cool. It didn't reach that certain level, so I'm gonna stop it. It's time to transition, whatever. So I feel like a lot of people will kind of give them, like, it will put something in perspective. If you look at, like, maybe even like relationships, it's like, all right, like 4 years, what has changed, if anything?
Yo, to your point, right? So one of the things, and this is something I get anytime I find myself talking to somebody who's in a relationship where it's a tumultuous situation, there's a lot going on, and they seem like they torn between, should I leave, should I stay? I ask them this simple question, right? I say, if things were never to change and be exactly what they are in 5 years, do you find yourself better or worse without this person? And when I tell you so many relationships have ended after that question, and it's just a question, I'd be like, yo, if everything stayed exactly what it is, nothing got better or worse in 5 years, do you see yourself? Because ultimately, when people think about leaving, they always think about that fear of starting over. Right. You know what I mean? And that question is not supposed to just make you want to leave. It's supposed to make you reflect on if this is something that you see getting better or if it's something that you see staying the same. And if it was to stay the same, where do you end up? Like the stress, if it's stressful, the problems, if it's problem, like, is this something that you want 5 years from now? And what it does for people is it put that shit in a perspective where it's like, all right, I can't be afraid to leave in a situation where if it stayed exactly the same, I wouldn't even want to be here 5 years from now. So why would I stay for another 3-4 fucking months for something that I know in 5 years is going to be something that I don't want, when I can actually take a step back, assess, and figure out the direction I need to be going in? Because if you get on a bus and it's going north and you need to be going south, every day you stay is taking you out of your way. And if people don't understand that sooner than later, this is how they end up in a 10-year situation, regretting you took 10 years on my life, but you knew in year 3 that you wanted to dip, but your fear made you stay. So, asking that question, if nothing was to change and things were to remain the same 5 years from now, do you see yourself better or worse? It gives people that immediate action to look out into the future, but come back to the present moment and make a decision. And it's been effective, like extremely. Sometimes people be like, you know what? I see what I need to do to change me so that it could be different in 5 years. But in that moment, just asking that question, at least open up their mind to think about that down the road.
To pivot into a little more relationship talk, do you have like any, like if a woman says, I don't want to have kids.
Yeah.
Is that like a...
I think their mind could be changed every time.
Okay.
I think they don't want to have kids with the wrong person. Because literally, I find myself running into women now that always say, I think I can do without kids. Or I don't want no more. Yeah. And then when you start asking them questions about it, it's typically because of PTSD from if they got kids, the current situation, not wanting to repeat the same mistakes. PTSD from the thing they seen other people go through, or just not wanting to give up that sense of freedom, right? Like, nah, I ain't ready to just be focused on, I don't want my life to revolve around. But when you instill the foresight and start to ask certain questions that kind of create that framework of what it could look like in a stable situation, I think that they'd be a little bit more open to it. Now, with some just rich aunties out here who just ain't with the shit. But I've met more rich aunties that seem like they could be converted into mothers than I have straight up and down, I'm not having no kids. You know.
All right. So I got a quote for you. It says, more and more women don't want kids, but men don't seem to be decreasing in that aspect.
In that capacity, yeah.
Men continue to want kids because there's not one that's expected to bear the majority of the physical or emotional responsibility, maybe financially, but it doesn't disrupt their lives or affect as much.
No, men just not selfish, and men understand legacy, and men understand that we got to reproduce in order to be able to continue to produce. So without no fucking kids, how to do their future, how does their future become our future if there's no fucking kids, right? Whereas though women literally are able to identify now that they are the ones who have this sole responsibility from a maternal standpoint, right? Because they are 100% mothers, right? And I think that they want to somehow cut down on the percentage of motherhood, and it don't work like that. Even if you don't like the roles and responsibility of being a mother, it's still motherhood. It's no amount of fatherhood that can offset motherhood. So it's not that the numbers is not decreasing because men don't have the day-to-day responsibilities. The numbers is decreasing on the female side because they're realizing that they don't want to handle the responsibility, and every other responsibility is flexible. Parenting is not. You can't pick and choose. Like I always say, like it's unfortunate that some men could just walk away, right? But for women, motherhood is non-negotiable, and 9 times out of 10 is that 1% that can find a way to get out of being a mom, but more women is not being mothers. So that's the one responsibility that they cannot escape, and because they can't escape it, they're like, you know what, I just don't want to have a responsibility at all, because once I had a responsibility, whether this man want to be here or not, I'm stuck with it. Whereas though as men, we have a lot of responsibilities that we can't escape, and unfortunately fatherhood is one that's flexible for men. Not that it's okay, not that we are appropriating or saying that is acceptable or saying that is cool, but simply the fact is that's one of the things where a man could just end up on child support and say, you know, I don't want nothing to do with her, leave the baby and the physical, all of that, the presence and all that to her, and I'll just handle the financial aspect. But yeah, it's decreasing because women operating out of selfishness and not wanting to give up their ability to do what they want when they want and have flexible responsibilities.
All right, so let's say you got your 2 daughters, and you meet a woman, she's great, but she doesn't want to have kids. Is that a deal breaker? Y'all can't go?
No, because I got 2 kids. You know,
so you don't have to have more kids.
I want to.
I know,
but I mean, it's like so that's a good question. Honestly, I think that it would have to be a conversation. The same way I told you to be open-minded to having more kids when it was presented to you. It would have to be, at least we got to be able to discuss it. And I will allow time to tell with how we vibe and what we got going on to determine if it makes sense. But that could very much well end up being a deal breaker if it just like not open to it at all. It's like, we're gonna have a ceiling. Like we can vibe, we can go, but we're gonna have a ceiling. We're gonna end up somewhere and it just don't go past there. And I'm very good at putting a cap on shit. Like it's nothing for me to be like, all right, I know for a fact that I fuck with you, but you will never go past this level.
All right, so let's break it down. Cause I like to think about this, regardless of the whole flight shit, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
regardless of the flight shit.
Yeah, regardless of, like, in regards to the whole flight shit, I'm thinking. I was thinking like, yo, like, what if Wolf just find that woman that is the all-encompassing wife, business-minded assistant type vibe. And
I might not have to handle kids.
Right, like it's like really, it's like imagine the flight shit happened, and my wife, you like, babe, this shit happened. Say, I got you. She get her shit like what? That's one thing I get my girl. Like I'm more of the long-term vision plan shit.
she did.
But when some shit go awry, she can definitely in real time get her like finagling and get some shit. And I'm actually not the best, cause once the plan kind of fracture, I'm like, oh shit, like now I gotta think ahead again type of shit. Like, but it happened recently, like, but she's good for that, especially whatever. But I'm thinking like, I think that would benefit your bandwidth so much because shit always happens.
No, that's why. That's exactly why I know for a fact when I think about the woman.
And she's saying, "Fuck that kid, nigga. I'm doing all of this, nigga. What the fuck are you talking about?"
No, I mean, I truly do believe that a woman could be converted from "I don't want kids" to one.
Yeah,
because I think all of them deep down inside yearn. They go through baby fever and all that. So I don't think none of them. I think a large part more so is more open to changing their mind if they find the right partner. Yeah. But to your reference, when I find a woman that can aid and assist in that way, I'm already knowing that that's my wife. Because that's another thing. When I was journaling, I literally wrote down about 40 things that I would look for characteristic wise, not personality, not because all of that stuff is subjective. Characteristics and morals and values and principles of how a woman carry herself. I already have that identified as to when I know. Like now, I always say the if it could be determined on the first date. The when is going to be determined through the seasons in which we find ourselves going through. So if I would marry you, I could determine that once we have a conversation. Damn, you seem like a girl I would marry. That don't mean I'm going to propose to you tomorrow. The when is determined by how you carry yourself, how you show up in certain situations, how you deal with the task and the responsibilities and the duties before marriage, leading up to it. That's going to determine, oh, you know what? It's time to lock in. Because one thing about me, I am priming myself to be married. Like I'm not somebody that needs 3-4 more years to get myself ready for marriage. If I met the girl of my dreams, my wife, within a month, we can get married within 6 because of the preparation that if she's ready, because of the preparation that I'm already been doing. So even the relationships I found myself in that was X amount of time and this amount of time still was prepping myself for that day because that's my goal. So it's like, just because you haven't found the suitor don't mean you stop trying to look for prospects, right? So it's like when you hiring, you don't say, all right, I'll figure out the roles and responsibility of this position I need to fill when I find a person that's going to fill the position. You get the job ready so then when you start interviewing, all you trying to do is find the perfect person to step in and do what you need them to do. That's how I approach the situation. So because I've been priming myself and getting ready for marriage, all I have to do is find the person that's ready for the responsibilities that it comes with, and everything else you only know once you start, right? It's only about so much shit you can prepare for. Like so many people are scared to jump in a situation because they over preparing for some shit that you can't foresee. Certain things have to transpire after you get, you know what I'm saying? So for instance, you can prep for a fucking flight, but you don't know how much turbulence you're going to experience until you're on the motherfucking plane. There's no app that can tell you, yo, you're going to experience about 30% turbulence throughout your flight. So prepare, make sure you brace for this and make sure you prepare for that. It don't fucking work like that. But you can pack your bags, you can have your snacks, you can choose your seat. But once you get in that motherfucking plane, you have to trust that you're going to get to your destination with faith. And a lot of y'all are not entering relationships no more because y'all don't have faith. Y'all are afraid to be played. Y'all are afraid to be fucked over. Y'all are afraid for motherfucking life to happen and shit to not go your way. But the fact of the matter is, not getting on that plane is never going to get you to your motherfucking destination. So you got to understand that, all right, cool, I can prepare as much as I want to. I can pack as much as I need to. I can unpack as much as I need to so that when I get on this motherfucking plane, I'm as comfortable as I possibly can be. But the fact of the matter is, once you board that motherfucker, it's up to you, the sky and God. Well, it's up to God in the sky to see what actually happened. And, you know, once you get to where you're supposed to be, you'll realize that it was all worth it. You know what I'm saying? Stop trying to duck the fucking process and go through it.
Speaking of that shit going wrong, you know, we was having a conversation the other day. Because also, again, back to the purpose why we're here, bachelor party type shit. So marriage is in the air. You know,
my boy getting married, man.
Appreciate that.
No, by this time, you married already.
Yeah, by this time, I am married.
You made it, bro. Damn, man. You fucking made it, bro. Like, and I ain't gonna lie, but that shit it's inspiring as fuck to me because, but one thing I never do is like try to rush my pride. Oh shit, damn, you getting married. Let me try to, but it's like, damn, man, like, that's another married friend I got to learn from, like, because you, like, you know, we learn from each other in different ways, but it's like, that's just dope, bro.
I appreciate that,
heavy, man, for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and it's, you know, I feel really good. Because again, I remember we spoke about that on one of the episodes where, you know, man proposed, that nigga ready to get married, like that. He put the money on the line, time, energy, reputation. It ain't but to be up there for the most part. He gonna be like, oh shit, I really want to do this. Like, it is what it is. So I was very like calm and ready for it. And at one point I'm thinking like, damn, that kind of weird. Should I be like more like anxious or whatever? But I realized it's just we so locked in and so invested so much energy and attention behind it that like it's a big deal. It's a monumental thing for us, but it's also just like it's just it's the journey. Like we just going. Sure. So it's a very surreal type thing. But I feel good. I'm happy that we had a calm place, like a surreal space. I spoke about the last
posting right now.
Yeah, I spoke about
y'all 70.
Yeah, for sure. I spoke about a recent episode where I kind of put myself in a new mental space to be a better leader, a better partner, whatever. Yeah. I feel that really set the table to comfortably go into that new stage of life with it together. So yeah.
You know what's so funny about that, right? You know how they be like, I don't get paid for my time, I get paid for my expertise. So it's like, say you take your car to a mechanic and the car not starting, right? And you've been taking it to all these different mechanics and they just can't figure out what the fuck is wrong. They changing shit. You paying money after money. Then you take it to one mechanic. All this motherfucker do is flip a switch. And that one little switch power the car right up. And he like, all right, 4,500. You like, huh? 4,500, nigga, it took you 45 seconds. Like, yeah, it took me 45 seconds to change it, but it took me years and years of trial and error to learn what the fucking issue was. So I feel like for you, that switch flipped in that episode when I mentioned watering versus pissing. And I think whatever you processed that to be and made it your own approach to make it fit your dynamic was flipping that switch. Like, damn, like this right here is going to cut down 30 to 40% of my stress because I'm not even about to react. In real time, we was on the phone the other day. You like, yo, I just walked into my daughter's room. I see this shit. But I'm going to process it. And I'm not like, and that was like, I'm pretty sure 13 months ago, you was gonna blow a fucking gasket. So I say all that to say for the people that's out there, the change don't always gotta be massive or drastic. Sometimes it be that little switch that you need to flip. Like for me, one of the things started me saying, you need to learn how to, I literally would say it will help us if, and I referenced that. But when I tell you saying that, yo, it will help us if instead of you doing it like this, you do it like that, because this is how I receive when you do it like this. And this is what it takes me. Now, granted, I'm not expecting y'all overnight to become this motherfucking well-articulated but just simply making a small adjustment to the way you approach things can be all the difference. Like, there's a big difference between putting fucking salt in your motherfucking oatmeal and putting sugar in your motherfucking oatmeal. They both look the same, but it's going to give you a completely different taste. So when you think about the way you're approaching situations in your relationships, that could be all the difference. Become that mechanic that gets so skilled at being aware of whatever the fucking situation is and knowing how to flip the switch in 45 seconds and still getting that $4,500 return on it versus being the one that's just going through testing, changing this and changing that and changing this, changing that. And the whole time you're not even addressing what the real fucking problem is, which only might take a little bit more communication, only might take a little bit more fucking patience, only might take a little bit more grace in order to see massive changes in your relationship.
And it's even the time it took, it's gonna save you way more on the back end.
And that's ultimately what it's about, right? It's not even about the front end investment. It's about what it does for you long term. And so many people are not using foresight because they live in day to day, and you just can't operate like that.
But with that being said, though, now time for smut. Though.
Here comes the feminist.
No, like I said, no. I'll smut on marriage. He's
a manimist today. Welcome back.
We was having a conversation. Of course, we was talking about. I was talking with one of my managers here. Shout out to my friends that made the trip, whatever.
Yeah.
And we was talking about like
we gonna unpack that too. I gave them niggas too much credit, but let's talk.
And we was talking about the idea of marriage and is it worth the type of shit, whatever. And what I honestly said, like as a person that's when I was younger, I may have said I was against marriage per se, whatever. But once I got older, I said, no, I'm just indifferent to it. And at the time, back then, I'm like, the woman I'm with, I know she wants to get married. Yeah. So it's nothing for me to have that part of our commitment, my commitment to you, what I owe you out of our love. And
you did it for her, essentially.
I do it for you, whatever. Yeah. Cool. Now, with that being said, because I love her and I trust her, I don't believe we going to end up in some crazy documentary. Damn, she took him to the cleaner. Shit went crazy.
A documentary.
But at the same time, I'm not aloof enough to act like that's not a possibility, but not a probability, whatever. And the same, what I said to him that kind of fucked his mind. I'm like, but to me, it's worth it.
Yeah.
And I was like, for her, we only doing this one time, one and done, whatever. But by worst case scenario, if that happens, I'll hold that L. Whatever. But to me, I feel like he was like, but no man think that's going to happen. Me personally, of course, nobody may think it on the front of their brain, but I think in the back of their mind, people do be seeing that. But they just put the love over
100%
the probability percentages.
100%. But I say that's what it comes down to. So everybody understands that certain shit is a possibility, right? And that's the issue in society now. So many people are operating off possibility and not probability when they should be flipping a coin. The fact of the matter is anything is possible. Niggas didn't allegedly went to the moon. But we fly on planes. I'm pretty sure 400 years ago, they was like, they no fucking way. Right. Like, you understand? Before the Wright brothers, nobody was thinking about putting a fucking Airbus in the sky. I'm like, yo, we gonna go all across the world, right? But it's like, as shit started to unfold, the probability increased. Oh shit, these motherfuckers is making progress. What the fuck they might actually do this shit. So I feel like there will be signs leading towards, and I'm not talking about your trauma triggering you to recognize things that have happened. I'm saying that the possibility only should be a factor when the probability increases. So yeah, if you get in a fucking marriage, there's a possibility you might end up in a divorce. Anything is possible. But what is the probability? And that comes down to the character of the person you're dealing with. So being able to assess in real time the differences and the dynamics of what's happening and what's transpiring and the toll it's taking on your relationship is how you can make the adjustments in real time to keep the possibilities manageable. But if you just become negligent in your relationship and be like, man, I ain't giving her no flowers, I ain't taking her out. Oh shit, I ain't cooking for him. I don't give a fuck if he happy. Fuck how he feel. Now the probability starts to increase. But it's still manageable because it takes a lot for a good person to go against their morals and to step out and do some shit that's uncharacteristic.
And to want to destroy you type shit. Like, yeah,
that means for them to want to do that, you would have had to fuck up, right? No woman cheats on you, and I'm not gonna say that because they gotta save face. But so I ain't gonna say no woman. But the chances are, if they trying to bring you down, is because they're trying to get back at you for something that you did. So the way you manage that is you just don't do something to give them a reason to do that. In reverse, if you're doing everything you possibly can and they step out, you got to know within self that you did all you could do and there's nothing that you could have did. But if it's in that medium where it's like, damn, it's a possibility that we might be on the rocks or some bullshit because I haven't been being attentive, I haven't been remembering birthdays and anniversary, I haven't been communicating, or I haven't been having sex with him enough, or I haven't been giving him head, or I haven't been cooking or asking him what he got going on or how I can be an asset to his life. Let me turn this shit the fuck up before matters get more probable than they need to be. And you can literally bring the possibility back down. It's like charging your motherfucking phone. If you don't put it on the fucking charger, eventually it's just going to die. That's just what it is. And relationships are the same. You got to charge them up. You got to keep them charged, but that don't mean they got to be on a charger all day, every day to be on 100%. They can still function with 10 to 20%. You just got to get to a charger as fast as possible. And if y'all understand that, y'all won't be so afraid to get married and get in relationships because you know that anything is possible, but that don't mean that everything is the probability of it is going to be high.
Prenups.
I'm doing one. And I know you did that because I said that. But no, so the thing is, it's not about, for me, being in business, a lot of my thoughts is not based on my feelings, bro. It don't got nothing to do with my trust. It's literally like in the event that whatever this is, this shit could be, I operate off love and loyalty first. So paperwork get tore up all the time. Like, our agreement is not on paper. That shit is word, and everything that we agreed to is what it is. So we can literally put it on paper right now, and that's not going to change the relationship and the dynamic and how I'm operating, because the same way we drew the paper up, we can tear that bitch up. So the prenup is just, in the event that shit becomes tumultuous, we already did that part. We don't got to fight about how this is going to split. We can focus on the separation. We don't got to be like, damn, we got to separate the kids, we got to separate the assets, we got to separate this. We still got to separate our feelings. No, we already did all that shit. Let's just separate our feelings. That's my thoughts on it, and I understand that. You know, and it had nothing to do with where a motherfucker at successfully, because she can have more.
All right.
Take your shit. Like, I'm not here for that. And if I get more, it's like, I'm not the type that's going to leave you out. It's like, I'm going to take care of you anyway, because I did it for women I wasn't married to, right? So it's like, if this is a woman that I've seen that was fitting enough to be my wife, you think unless you did, my only rule is you cheat on me, he got to take care of you. It's just that simple. Like, that's where it's just like, I don't give a fuck where you end up at. But if it's just like we just not working, I don't feel you like that, like, you're not really coming through for me, I'm not really coming through for you. It's like, what you need to feel cool. You need half, take half. You need, you know what? Take 75% if that'll get you off my fucking case.
Lord.
Take it. Why? Because I firmly believe that it's me. I can do it. I can get it. I can make it again. I'm not tripping. If that'll make you comfortable enough to live your life and stay the fuck away from me, all right, it's a cheap price to pay.
All right, so to carry out, so I'm assuming the prenup wouldn't say that, but you saying you can put some more on the prenup.
Yeah, if I had to. Oh. No, I'm never putting that in the prenup. I'm saying, like, in the event that she like, yeah, but this still ain't enough. All right, hun, go ahead, take it. I'm cool. Unless you just try and grab me by the balls and like leverage me, then it's like, no. Now I'm sticking to what it is.
He is not a businessman.
No, it's just like, I look at it like this, bro. When I think about splitting from somebody that I care about, I truly do believe that I can figure it out. And if they need extra assistance, I don't mind giving it to them. If it's a split that just didn't work,
amicable type.
Yeah, amicable split. That's cool. Like, that's like, I'm a man, bro. As men, bro, we not allowed to be selfish. Like, to be a selfish man is the worst possible thing to do and exist as a person, because our role is to protect and to provide. That involves giving. So it's not even in our nature to be selfish. So if I'm not willing to do what I was put here to do, That's like expecting a woman to be nurturing and then she not doing it. It's like, you're not even being a fucking woman. You follow what I'm saying? So for me, being a protector and a provider, I understand that provision and that protection might have to be amplified in certain capacities for certain people. And that's okay, because that's just me doing my job. It's not an overextension or beyond my boundary or something I'm comfortable with, because it's in my genetic makeup of who I am. So I don't look at the material things and feel like I'm overgiving, or even the immaterial, the things that's intangible, and feel like I'm overgiving if it's in alignment with protection and provision. Now, I have boundaries that stop me from getting overutilized, but at the same time, I understand that the capacity on which I'm willing to give is abundant. So yeah, I don't mind that. And for the men that's out there, if you just looking like, because it's two types of men. You got men that give, and you got men that take. The reason I don't deal with 20 women, because I'm a giver. So imagine giving times 20. But if I was a taker, 20 women means I'm getting 20 times what I'm receiving, what I'm trying to go after. So a lot of the times men want to receive the times 20, but don't want to do it in return to give times 20. It's like, all right, you want to fuck 20 women because you want to receive 20 different, you want to have intercourse with 20 different women. But if you really had to take care of them, protect them, get out your bed at 3 a.m, be able to show up and solve their problems, deal with their motherfucking emotional roller coaster, niggas like, I ain't really trying to deal with that. So for me, understanding that if I was to have 2 women, that's double. It's like, all right, if I'm not equipped and prepared to deal with that, then I'm probably just not, even in the dating space, I'm just probably not going to entertain. So it's easy for me to lock in because I know how much I'm willing to give. But I'm also giving another capacity because my mom going to call me, my daughter's going to call me, my sisters and cousins going to call me. So I'm still giving times X, Y, and Z, but I know that I'm not really required to this capacity because I'm not even expecting X, Y, and Z on the other end. So, as men, we can't be selfish, man. You got to be a giver. So it's nothing for me to be like, I'll figure that shit out, because I will.
Okay. Out of curiosity, on the tail end of that prenup
Before
conversation.
I forget this thought, right? Okay. I wanted to let it breathe a little bit. But another thing, man, a lot of women, I got to say this to you, man, like, get familiar with being a woman again. Like, I feel like, and for the men that's out there too, I'm not even attracted to a woman that act like she don't care. You women care about dumb shit. You cry over movies you don't know this is the movie. You cry about animals and you cry about flowers dying, but you gonna act like you don't care about me? I'm not even dealing with you. I'm not even giving you the time of my, if a woman act like she's hard body and she want to be, I don't got no feelings, and I'm not even giving you the time of day. Why? Because it's so easy for you to care. So for you to go out your way to not give a fuck, you will never get a minute of my time, because I'm not even going to act like I don't care. Just because I'm not operating out of how I feel don't mean I don't care. But for you to say you don't care means you're exactly operating about how you feel, and you're repressing how you feel, and you operating in a way that I'm not comfortable with. So I'm not even giving you the time of day. So when I say get back familiar with being a woman, understanding that it's so easy for y'all to care. That don't mean you got to over care. See, caring don't always got to convert to action, right? Caring don't mean you got to cry. Caring don't mean you got to stalk a nigga. Caring don't mean that you got to do whatever a nigga say when he say it, or just, no. Caring just mean letting it be known that you give a fuck. Why? Because if you, the quickest way to a nigga heart is through caring about the nigga. Like, most of the time, because we really commit through loyalty, we will literally look at a chick and be like, damn, I don't even feel it like that, but she has my back. And they'll be like, well, why would you be with somebody you don't feel? Because my commitment is to the loyalty, it's not to the love. The love is fleeting, the love could change, the love is subjective, and it could literally be altered, and it could increase or it could decrease over time. But the loyalty is something that could be steadfast by showing up time after time again in times when I need you to be there for me. So when you understand that, and when you look at it from that perspective, it's like, yeah, I can look at a woman and be like, I do love you, but that's not why I'm marrying you. I'm marrying you because you show up in these areas time and time again when I know that it might be a challenge and a process for you to do that. So get familiar with learning what actually going to get you the end result that you want out of a man, because telling me you don't give a fuck is not going to make me give a fuck. And I've seen that it work with a lot of men, where it's a reverse psychology thing where they show that, oh, damn, if I show this nigga I don't care, now he on my ass, now he on my ass. No, listen, women cannot out-logic us. What I mean by that is, nigga, get out your fucking feelings. If she's showing she don't care, even if you care, you can express, look, I care about you, I fuck with you. But I'm not going to deal with you not caring about me. We just not doing that. Fuck that, we out.
Yeah, true story. Bring it back to the marriage. When me and my girl first met, I knew of another girl that,
cared about you.
Yeah, situational type shit, whatever. But it was a whole limbo type thing, whatever. And
the love triangle. Just call it what the fuck it was. My boy started off in a love triangle. Like, people don't just think he got to marry just being this wholesome ass nigga. He was a wholesome ass nigga.
Boy, that boy good. but so when I met, my now, fiance or whatever, part of the whole evaluation thing.
The first time he ever said it.
I said it.
She's your wife by the time this come out, so let's just go there.
Yeah, my wife now.
How did that feel?
It felt great.
That was your first time saying it?
No.
I'm talking about like on the platform.
Yes.
All right. So how did?
Great,
All right, cool.
Oh, great.
Your wife. She's your wife today.
I'm gonna start saying that.
It's here.
After this episode.
It's this episode. What
I'm saying after, from now on.
All right. His wife.
But,
He did it. Feel like that nigga made it. That nigga made it.
But part of that was like one thing with my girl, and back to the whole my epiphany, humbling myself was I had to check myself where like regardless of whatever dumb shit she may do or annoying shit she may do, or things I may think, oh, she could do it differently, whatever. One thing that's never been in question ever was her love for me.
Yeah.
She run through a fucking wall. Like
I seen it at the show. She checked me in 2.2 seconds.
I done almost died.
Playing around everybody.
Yeah, I'm almost died. She wasn't playing around. But no, I almost died before her. She fucking went to know. I almost had a coma type shit.
Oh, you did with the birthday.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
You know, like I done checked out on vacation, drinking. She done cleaned up after me. Like she done nursed me, all type of shit, whatever. Like ain't nothing she wouldn't do. And I had to check myself where it's like, because again, like the idea of not caring, that's such a, the fact that it work on niggas reverse psychology is insane to me. Because like I definitely don't operate that way.
Yeah,
but
I don't even.
From day one, well, I'm saying we're different, but in the beginning of us knowing each other, really locking in, it was never no suppressing of feelings.
Yeah.
Like she showed me from early on, no, I fuck with you. Like I wanna explore it. Let's see what we can build. And I like you. Like, and to me, not that I needed that, but I just respected that because it was the intentionality was there.
No, that's a fact.
And from that point on, it was like, no, like it wasn't like I can't even, that's not how she wired.
Yeah.
And she ain't some supers like, oh my God, I'm crying every day. But like her love is true and pure.
Yeah.
And it was never suppressed or held back.
No, and it's so funny. I mean, I'm even glad that you kind of harp on that because even to like slow the tone down just so people can understand, women are wired to care. Like, I need you to understand that. So if she is going out of her way to show you she don't care, it doesn't mean she don't care. It's literally a mind game because she saw that when she show you her ass, you start to kiss it. If you want to reverse that, you have to let her know, I'm not going to kiss your ass unless I'm in the wrong. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't mind. I have no pride. Like, that's why I say the difference between men and women. Like, as men, we fuck up, baby. You kiss your girl ass all day in the morning. Sorry, I fucked up, right? They fuck up is a little bit more of a process. They not apologizing. It is what it is. It's going to be connected to something you did. I would have did. I'm sorry, but had you not. Let's not turn the tide too much, right? It is what it is. The fact of the matter is, going back to them caring, it's okay if you fuck up to want to put the time in to fix whatever it is that's going on in your relationship because that's just what it is to be honorable. But if they making you operate in a way where you tipping on fucking you tiptoeing on eggshells and man, just on a day-to-day because you're trying to earn their love, you need to self-evaluate. Maybe you shouldn't be in a predicament to be trying to be dating right now because you don't have enough respect within self to set the boundary to stop her from playing in your face because this is how they're wired to give a fuck. Like they cry over everything. I ran out of ice cream. Their stomach hurt too much. The movie was too good. The movie was too bad. Their favorite character, something happened to him. Right. So you telling me that you care about me on one instance, but you gonna show me that you don't give a no, like they're willing to, you don't gotta, you know a woman care about you because you don't have to ask her to do shit for you. She find ways to incorporate herself into the things you need to do because she's going to study what she have to become to get what she want or to be who she need to be for the person that she gives a fuck about. So if she's not naturally kind of trying to fill voids in your life to the point where it could get annoying, babe, relax. Facts. I don't need you to do all of this.
Facts.
Then that's like a prime indicator. You know what I'm saying? So if it's always transactional and it's always about what her needs are and you have to meet them, that's just you realizing that she's settling for you, but she don't really want to be with you because when she will never settle for you, she will settle with you if she wants you. Settling for you is when she always making you feel like there's a reward system that has to benefit her.
Run it back.
She will never settle for you. She will settle with you when she wants you. But when she don't want you, she's settling for you. So that's why you got to keep appeasing to her. Oh, I need you to do this. Oh, we don't do enough this. We need to be doing this. Oh, this person's doing that. Oh, when I was in my last relationship, it was this. Because she's trying to mimic and get out of you what she actually wants. But when she wants you, she literally becomes who she has to be to keep it. Like if they enroll in a motherfucking college and got to maintain a 3.5 to stay in that scholarship, they going to maintain that 3.5. They're going to stay up late. They're going to go to class on time. If they want to go to work and get a motherfucking promotion and they know that they got to do X, Y, and Z on these projects to get that promotion, they're going to do it. If they want to start a business and know that they want it to flourish, have a good relationship with their clients, they're going to become the person they have to be. They're going to take the mastermind. They're going to get the mentor. They're going to pay the money. If they want the body they want, they're going to go to fucking Columbia and pay the doctor. They're going to do research for a year, read reviews, consultations, put the bread aside, all of the things that they have to do to get what they want. So if they want you, they will become the woman they have to be. And if they not, it's because they don't see your value or they just settling for you because you're not even who they want, but they just need to be able to show up with somebody. And you're not the actual one that they want to be with. So have some respect for yourself and knowing that I'm going to have this boundary where I'll display my love for you, but if you're not going to display it back, then there's just nothing else we got to talk about.
Before we land a plane, I thought it'd be fitting. I actually wanted to do this on a live show, whatever. But, we had a lot going on. But as we said on the show before, anybody, shout out to the 1%ers, anybody that's been watching and consistently. Ryan Q Live, you was on there 3 times, and you might remember I used to do the question at the end of the episode.
Yeah, I remember.
And go through that.
Yeah.
So I want to do like a little speed round.
Talk about it.
All right. I thought you in shape. I thought you remember back then. All right. So you ready? All right. So first John was we'll run through them up. Well,
this is one at a time. I'm not gonna remember all of these questions.
Oh yeah, one at a time. Through though. Yeah, like whatever first answer.
I got you.
If you had to choose to live without one of your 5 senses, which would it be?
I'm not answering that because I want them all. You can't ask me shit like that.
In what ways are you the same as your childhood self?
I'm still a leader.
All right. If you're in a bad mood, do you prefer to be left alone or have someone cheer you up?
That depends on both. Because most of the time, 80% of the time I need to be left alone. 20% of the time I need companionship.
All right. If you can match.
No, it could be reversed. That's actually a great question because sometimes I need the 20% companionship on the front end. And then I need to be left alone after that. So the percentage might stay the same, but the process, like sometimes I need to be around immediately. Like I need to be close to somebody I love or that love me just to feel like I got that, companionship. And it could be family, friends, or my partner. And then on the other end is like, let me process and let me be by myself so I don't spill into nobody else.
Gotcha. I'm more of a be left alone type shit.
Yeah. And like an empty motherfucker, just stay away from me.
I mean, let me process. Yeah. And I'll answer too, Bang.
Yeah.
So in what ways
I'm gonna ask you too.
Yeah, in what ways I'm the same as my childhood self? I would say I was like that. Like leave me alone, and I like being by myself.
Yeah,
I've been like
you was a loner.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
If you can master one skill you don't have right now, what would it be?
Time management. Being more efficient and getting more out of the time. Because if I just actually apply myself more, sometimes being good at stuff will make you kind of just do it on your time. Even how in real time you see me literally organize everything to get here, even though I did it multiple times, which is why I get so I get so comfortable with things kind of because I'm cool with operating in that type of. I'm cool with it, but I know how to. So for me, it would just be being more efficient and effective. Literally maximizing being. I'm like, you know what? I'm not playing around. I'm going to have rest to be productive because the rest is productivity too. But at the same time, in these hours of operating, I'm going to turn it up a notch.
For sure. I would say it'd be a master of communication.
And I actually think I work so much on my communication that I am like in that realm of being a great communicator. Like,
and to add context, it would be more so about like emotional,
awareness, emotional intelligence, and then emotional maturity.
Yeah. What stands between you and happiness? Because we spoke before how happiness is fleeting. So
you're saying in the moments where I'm not happy, when I'm not being productive.
Okay.
Whenever I'm making progress, I'm happy as shit. And that's in any area. Like my relationship getting better, I'm spending more time with the kids, if the pod, whatever area, and I'm making progress. And whenever I feel like one area is kind of like I try to like focus more on like being happy that I am making progress over here, even if it's just like day-to-day shit.
I'll go with that. I'll pick off that answer. The number one place you want to visit in the world?
I want to just go out the country. I want to go to Bora Bora. I want to go to Thailand and fuck with the elephants. I want to go to Honduras. I want to go to Africa at some point. I ain't gonna cap. I'm not about to act like it's one of my top 5. It's not. Not on my top 5. Thailand, Greece, Bora Bora, Dubai, and Honduras is probably on my top 5. And Bali. I don't know if I said Bali, but that's like honorable mention.
Mine either Bahamas or somewhere in Africa.
Yeah.
World peace or inner peace?
That's a good question. It's selfish to say inner peace, but I don't know if I'm that selfless to say world peace.
You already know it's inner peace with me.
Yeah, it's inner peace. It's inner peace. I'm sorry. Because if I'm not at peace, then how can I even identify what world peace is?
Right.
World peace starts from within.
Gotcha.
Because if everybody in the fucking world had inner peace, there'd be world peace.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good news or bad news first?
Just tell me what's more important first. Whatever's more important. Like if it's some fucking dumb shit, you broke the fucking TV. Don't fucking tell me that before you tell me you just landed a 6 figures deal. Like tell me the deal first. But if you just lost me a 6 figure deal, don't fucking start with the TV.
What good is
don't fucking start with I just bought you a TV. Fuck that TV. No, I don't like when people beat around the bush. So for me, it's like get to the point.
Gotcha.
Like, cause like whatever the point about to be, we need to figure out what's next. So it don't matter if it's good or whatever. If it's good or indifferent, just get to it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I would say bad news first. Yeah. But I like that though.
Yeah.
I don't know if you answer this one. If you met God, what would you want him to say to
I'm
you?
not answering that.
Okay, fair.
I mean, I talk to him every single day. What are you talking about? I have a good relationship with him.
That's why I thought it could go either way.
Yeah, no, it's going that way. I really have a great relationship with him. He's present. I'm present. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Gotcha.
he navigates and he guides me every single day.
Anybody ever dead or alive, who'd you want to have dinner with? It could be two people if you need to.
If I could have dinner, like, what is this? Just like what's like? It's just like for business purposes. Like,
Just anything, business, personal, just a great time.
if I wanted to sit down with two people, I'm gonna go business. I would definitely want to. One on would definitely be Kev Hart, and then I would want to sit down with. Honestly, no, Kev Hart for sure. But I probably even also want to sit down with like Jay Shetty and Lewis House, like on some cause like I respect they work and the things that they've done. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they are part of the 1%ers like that's reaching the different cultures, and we are part of the 1%ers that's like really tapped in on our market. So, but Kevin Hart and who else? Like I don't really be having these questions ready because I don't really think about that type of stuff. To be honest with you, like I feel like I meet a lot of the people that and I actually be able to form relationships. But I say him because I just literally was getting motivated by, watching some of his stuff, and I always been, inspired by him. But a lot of the people, like, I like to actually get with people that's like, I don't think about meeting with somebody until it's like a realistic thing. So like, it would be more people that's in my real, like, inner, workings of being able to have access to, and I would really want to sit down with these people. So
when I've asked a question in the past, I've thought it was dope because a lot of times people don't even think about celebrities. They think about people they've possibly just lost in the past, or think about people from history. So they say, no, if I have dinner with my grandma again, that'd be amazing.
That makes sense.
So,
well, you said any lane, so I feel like the general questions don't really fit me. Because it's so many different ways I can take it. That's why I'm like, is it a date? Like, cause like I got am I giving you my celebrity crushes? Like, what am I doing?
Shot?
Like, yeah, like what's going on here? But ultimately, man, like, yeah, like even in that regard, I probably say business, and it's so many other people I would want to say in the other seat. But I think at this particular point, that'd be a dope sit down.
Cool. We on some nigga shit now. $1 billion, first luxurious, crazy thing you buying.
It ain't gonna be a fucking chain. I don't know. I probably just let it sit in the account. I'm gonna just be happy knowing I could do whatever I want.
Buy something.
Amusement park.
That's fire. That's the first time.
It's gonna be called the Wolf World.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Leader, integrity. See, I operate off love, loyalty, honor, respect, integrity. I'm a leader. Like that's all the foundation, but they all could be like pillared. So
Gotcha.
I'm a leader. You know what I mean? I move with integrity and just good intentions.
Okay.
Which is part of integrity. So it's like, so I see a lot of it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Who's the most important person in your life, and how could you improve the relationship?
Everybody's important in their own way. Like these type of questions, like they don't, because I look at it like everybody's important for different reasons, and improving my relationships with them is dependent on what they need. So it's like, I know that I had to at one point get better with my kids by being more present with the time I was spending, not increasing the time, but doing more to make more memories with the time and just teach them and making sure that we making the best possible use of the time. When I was in my relationship, it was about getting rid of parts of me that was damaging us. And I feel like everybody have to do that self-assessment where it's like, what part of me is fucking this shit up? And how can I get rid of it? Or what part of me is just me? And how can I manage that so that it don't fuck us up? So, each person gets a different level of adjustment within me. Like even within this dynamic of the pod, okay, how can I become better at hearing what Q has to say on and off the camera? How can I learn how to hold my impulsive responses? Because it come from a genuine place of just getting excited, but with respect to allowing people to finish their thoughts. And allowing people to give their ideas, even though I know that I'm a great solutionist and I got great ideas, how can I be more open to other ways of approaching things? So you see it because I will defer to you, I will call you, and I will ask you what you think, even in times where I feel like I got the answer already. So that's me making an adjustment in real time on what it takes to be able to be the person that you need me to be so that you could be efficient in a relationship. So it's never one thing. Like that's the thing. People be looking for the one. It's not one thing. It's different moving parts. Like, it's not one thing that make a car go. It's not one thing that make a plane fly. It's not one thing that make a train stay on track. It's so many moving pieces that take place to make these things happen. So it's not one thing you need to do to become better or one thing that'll fix your relationship. It's one thing that can fix it a little bit. It's one thing that can fix it a little bit more. But all of these things have to happen for things to be improved in life.
Okay. Lastly, what is this chapter of your life called?
This chapter is called, that's a good question too. It's funny because this nigga turned this into Right on Cue Live part 2.
We're just gonna end it. End it right here.
I ain't been in an interview in a minute. This chapter is really called I'm looking for a word that determines like 10xing. So like whatever that looks like, it's like turning everything up, like amplifying the work we putting in, amplifying the deals we've been landing, amplifying the 1%, and helping people grow the community and get better with themselves. So everything that we doing right now is attached to growth and growing and developing. But I just want to say, like, this is like an amplifying time of just turning up. Like it's literally just like taking everything to the level that we need to get it to this level, to get it to this level. So we leveling up right now.
I like it. I'm gonna say something like either approaching the coastline or elevation turbulence. Because we spoke about both of those. Well, one of those where the idea of like,
I know the title of the episode now. I'm good.
The idea of like, when you elevate on the airplane, whatever, it's going to be that when you get off, as soon as you elevate, it's like a little rocky, whatever. But as soon as you get to that coasting period, it's like,
I'm chilling.
So, but I guess the thing with life though, as you elevate and growing and back and amplifying, it's going to be rocky. It's going to be growing pains, but you steady going up though.
So like sustainable elevation.
Yeah. But also the idea of approaching the coastline, where it's like, again, same thing, where it's like just approaching that, looking forward to going through all that work, all the, possible storms, obstacles, whatever come across your path in your journey, but getting to that coasting period. I know, like everything established, all the pillars established, the team is fully implemented, and this shit is just moving, man.
Yeah.
Like, we coasting,
We have, it's
and then it's
officially
just like,
it
ain't, it's just
smooth sailing.
Yeah, and then it's just 10xing on his own compound interest type shit. Yeah, so I think I like those ideas.
So we can land it there. So man, this was cool. It felt good to be back. You know what I mean? Episode 2. Episode 1 of year 2, right? Because it ain't a new season, but it's just a new year for us pod calendar wise. And big shout out to y'all if you've been rocking since the very first episode of Are You in Alignment? So I want to know, are you still in alignment? Right? Like, are you still in alignment? All of these episodes later, big shout out to us for being able to be 40 plus episodes and going through all of our transitions, moving different jobs, me getting out of my relationship, all of these different things that have transpired over this course of this year, and still being able to show up and be 1% better. Another big shout out to our sponsors. Once again, make sure y'all go shop with Her Fantasy Box. Go to herfantasybox.com, I believe, and just make sure y'all shop with them, man. But more importantly, I want y'all to understand, I'm going here to the solo. As y'all let people know, we grow, so I need y'all to share this out. Do not gatekeep this information. Whatever you feel like we should have expounded on, take it to your conversation in your circle. I was watching this podcast called the Wolf Has Spoken Podcast, and this is what they talked about. What are your thoughts on this? Or if it's something that you want us to expound on and go more in depth about, leave it in the comments. We encourage y'all to like, comment, subscribe, share. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all share. Make sure y'all download us on all audio platforms, the Wolf Has Spoken Podcast. Make sure y'all get us on YouTube, Wolf Network, the Wolf Has Spoken Podcast. Make sure y'all get us on Instagram, me at WolfWSC, the network at wolfnetwork.WSC. Q, where can they find you?
Right on Q Live, as in right side, right on Q Live, QUE, right on Q Live.
Yeah, this nigga done forgot his own tag. It's right on Q Live.
In real time, I was thinking
right
about stopping it. Should I retire it?
QUE Live.
I should retire it?
Oh, you need to figure it the fuck out, my boy. Big shout out to Ricky B. Philly on the ones and twos who is not taking no more clients that need videography and podcast producing.
I saw him try to fool it off while we did Miami, trying to get some clients.
Yeah, not doing no content but this, but everything else he's extremely available for. So make sure y'all give my guy Ricky B. Philly, and make sure y'all continue to help the platform grow by sharing it. As y'all let people know we grow, we're extremely excited to continue to be able to bring y'all this. We're extremely excited to be able to do this, and it's truly fulfilling, and y'all make it all worth it. Shout out to everybody that came to our first live show. There will be more, and shout out to everybody that joined our school community and became a 1%er. And let's continue to grow, man. Until next time, you already know. See y'all soon. The Wolf Has Spoken. We out,
sir.